What's up, guys? Welcome to The Truth About Him, the number one podcast for men's health and wellness. I'm Anthony.
I'm Baron.
Welcome to the show. Welcome back to another week. Exciting week for me. Excited to be here.
Excited
to always be here and talking and learning. But how was the week for you?
Man, I was thinking about that question on the way here.
Yeah?
And yeah, I'm at a different stage in my life now as a parent. I'm at that stage of trying to groom young adults to be thriving adults.
Okay.
I'm not, so.
Are you taking Activia yet?
Activia? No, you know what? I found out that sometimes when we raise our kids,
Right.
and we've raised them to be self-sufficient, we've raised them to be independent, but when that transition comes for them to be an adult, we expect them to know certain things and we take it for granted. And so we push, we say, okay, yeah, you got that.
Right.
In essence, we don't show them the roadmap,
Right.
in a way. So
Right.
I'm looking at that and I'm like, damn, my expectations and what I've taught them are two different things.
That's crazy because I had the same thought this morning too.
Of course you
Same thought. This is crazy. The connection
We didn't
is
talk
crazy.
about this.
Not at all.
We didn't talk about
Not
this
at all. Not
at all.
So last night, my kids had a track meet, and they're out there performing. And track is hard. Track takes a lot out of you, right?
Yes.
And track, it goes into like the hot season. It's getting hot, so you gotta eat better, makes you perform better.
Hydrate, yep.
Hydrate. So yesterday, my kids didn't eat well, and one did 3 events, one did 4 events, right? And they didn't eat well, and that showed up on the track. And me, I'm like, you know what? I tell them, you guys have to eat well.
Right.
The track meet is on Wednesday. Starting on Monday, start to eat. But you can tell them that, but you expect them to do what you say, but
Right.
They don't, because they have to learn, right? They have to learn. They have to get used to a new way of doing things. So I tell them it's not just about working out and lifting weights. You have to fuel your body as well too. You gotta take care of your body. What's up, guys? Thanks for watching the show. I want to take a real quick break and tell you about our new online community called The Game of Life. Now, this is a community of men where we get together every single day, 24/7 online, and talk about what men go through. Talk about family, fitness, fortitude, finance, everything that has to do with men's health. We got you, all right? You want to get in shape? We got you. You want to have a better mindset? We got you. Want to make money? We got you. So right now the community is online and it's free. Right now it's free. So it won't be for long, but join the conversation right now. Click the link in the description right now and join our community of men who are out there making things happen. All right. We'll see you on that side. Now back to the show. So I feel you.
Man,
Same thing.
Same thing. We're learning.
Same thing.
We're just learning different. But it's good that we catch it.
Right.
It's good that we catch it and that we work towards improving that. So
right.
that's where I'm at.
Yeah,
like I'm really
same.
just trying to work on that. So
Same here.
What are we gonna talk about?
So today's topic is: do men have to be rich to be respected? So it's something I think it's a good topic. It's a good question because it's actually a valid question.
It's really valid.
And if we look at what society says and the societal standards of do men have to be rich to be respected, I'm gonna say yes.
I don't disagree.
Right, because everything that we see out there is that if a man doesn't have money, if he's not providing, or if he's not rich, right, then what value do you have in this world? Because if we look at the TV shows, look at social media, look at print, everything we see is about being this rich man. And honestly, brother, it comes secondary to being a healthy man, right?
Right.
Because
exactly.
We put our wealth before our health, and it should be reversed.
Health
so,
is wealth.
From societal standpoint, I'm gonna say yes. A man does have to be rich to be respected. What you think?
I do think that society puts the tangible things, the things that we can see, as a sign of success or being rich. If you have a private jet, or if you have multiple cars in your driveway, if you have a huge house, if you have these tangible things that I can see, oh, you're rich. Yeah. I respect that. Mm-hmm. So I want that. But that the fault that society also plays in that is they never highlight what it took to get it.
Right.
You know, they never highlight the work, the long days, the self doubt, the going, days without eating, or a day without eating because you had to pay this thing for your business or stuff like that. They don't show that part.
Yeah.
They don't show the dedication. They don't show the work. They just show the
Aftermath.
aftermath.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think society they plays a part in that, but always look at us. It's always, we look internally. We don't have to subscribe to everything that comes across
Right.
our eyes. So, it's up to us to decipher that. And I think that's where we are trending to the point where we're evolving. We've been talking about this for like the past month, the evolution of us as a people, as male and females. That evolution is changing. So, we deem success and stuff differently now.
Yeah.
So
If we truly look at that question, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does a man have to be rich to be respected? If you look at that question and we say yes based on what society says, without knowing that man, is he respected, or what he accomplished respected?
or what he has, yes.
Right. So is it truly him? Because it to me it's kind of separate. The man versus what he has in his garage, his closet, on his wrist, or whatever in his bank. It's separate.
Absolutely.
Right. So is that man be respected, or is what he has be respected? Because if he loses that and loses respect, that means the person never, or society never respected the man. It was just what he has.
Exactly. Nobody, if you took away everything away from the richest person you could think of, tell me something personal about that person, that man. A lot of people can't do that.
Right.
So, like you said, that's a valid question. Is the things being respected or the man being respected?
Right. It's definitely things.
That's definitely the things. But on the same side, we're looking at that and we're looking past the curtain of things. We want to know maybe if I see a man with certain things, I not necessarily want to know how you got that, because I might not want that particular thing, but I want to know what opportunities or what did you have to do to create that opportunity to get that thing.
Yeah.
So those are the questions I think that we should be asking, because that breeds success. And then the definition of success changes. Like, success is different now than it was even 10 years ago,
Yeah.
So
Yesterday I was at the gas station getting gas, and I saw I saw, like, I think it was a Porsche, right, on the other side of the gas pump. Guy walks out, tall guy, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go talk to him. So I'm like, sir, it's okay. You pressured me. We can trade cars. We can switch. It's okay.
Right. That's how you came at him.
Yeah. He's like, it's okay. You know what? I'm giving in now.
Right.
You can take my car. You know? My car's a cool car. But super car. Right.
Right.
And he just laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed. But it's like I respected him more, not because of the car, but his ability to connect real quick. Right, he wasn't all standoffish and like a snob. He laughed. Okay, let's do it, even though he wasn't serious.
Right. You imagine what if he was serious though?
You would have pulled up today and saw a black Porsche outside, because I was damn sure swap with him.
Hey.
But I think once you, I don't believe that all rich people are uptight and angry and snobs. And see, it's. I like to get to know the person, right? The person behind the money, and that will tell me if I respect you or not. You know what? I will always respect the man, no matter what he does. But if I'm going to really, connect and potentially do life with you, right? Because I believe respect is something that you give someone for you. It's not for them. Right. Because if you're walking around all uptight and pent up and all, that's not affecting them, right? It's affecting you.
Definitely affecting you.
So Rich, what is rich?
To me, what is rich is it's not necessarily a monetary thing to me. That example you just gave me, you walked up to this random person, regardless of the car, regardless of the car.
Right.
You walked up to this random person and was like engaged in conversation. That says a lot about you and your mentality. That shows that a car or wealth doesn't intimidate you.
No.
You know, you walk into a room and you got two legs like everybody else.
Right.
So your mentality is the same. I'm not intimidated by stuff. I'm not intimidated by things. But let me ask you this. How many times have you walked into a room or into a gymnasium and people are, for whatever reason, intimidated by you?
This guy said gymnasium. He said the whole word.
Yeah. Gymnasium. My lexicon is. Or how many times have you heard that you know,
If I would do 10 walk-ins, probably 9.
right.
Eight to 9, just really based on my stature, just me.
Just you
Yeah.
walking into
Oh,
a
yeah.
room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 8 to 9.
Yeah.
8 to 9.
So-
I get it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it too. I get that, you know, that and we're thinking,
Yeah.
why?
Why?
Like, why are you so that's not our intentions to intimidate, but it's the mentality, it's how you carry yourself, it's how you speak, it's the respect that you give out, the respect that you show. It's going to automatically come back. So people are automatically going to respect a person that is respectful.
They open up after that.
They open up. You know, it's well, you know what? Not all open up because some are so intimidated by you that they, and this is we're carrying over from last week, that they project their insecurities onto you. And they're like, oh, well, he thinks he's X, Y, Z. He thinks he's this. So he can't even speak. And in reality, in our mind, we're thinking of something we're working on 3 hours from now. Or we're thinking about appointments that we have 3 hours from now. We're not necessarily in that moment, but they're looking at us in that moment as being something that we are not. They're putting that on us. Yeah. So respect. It can go both ways. But if you don't open yourself up like how you opened yourself up to speaking, pause, how you engaged in conversation with that gentleman, that showed a certain level of respect, man to man. Yeah. That showed a level of I'm not intimidated. You know, I can pull off in that Porsche and drive it just as good as you can. Yeah, and look just as good in this Porsche. Yeah. As any other person does. So I think that we have to be respectful. I think you have to be respectful in order to be respected. Yeah. But it's also important that you don't project your insecurities and your lack of respect on someone else as soon as they walk in the room. Right. You know?
Or really you kind of like fall back or not show your confidence because who's in the room. Because, for example, you mentioned that you know, you don't talk because you know you're this and you're that, right? It reminded me of what a mentor said to me some years back. I had called him after I was kind of in like a really, I would say, argument, right? Mm-hmm. And the person I was in an argument with were saying like, you know, you think you all that, you think you this, you think you that, and I'm like that triggered me. Mm. He was like, why? Because they're saying that I'm this. I'm like, well, aren't you? Then you work on yourself. Then you do better. Then you come from the mud. Then you then you like build. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, he's like, well, yes, you are all that. Mm-hmm. Everything that they're saying is their stuff, not yours. So yes, you are all that. Your response should be next time that, you know what, I work hard on myself to become that person. So yes, I'm that. So I had to kind of like, you know, shrink myself, because when I walk in a room, I would be big, you know, and I didn't know it, but after I heard that so many times, I'll kind of like shrink down,
dim your light.
So I had to learn. I had to learn that just because you see me as intimidating doesn't mean I'm intimidating, right?
Right.
That's you. And I have to purposely walk up to people and talk because I'm a natural introvert, right?
Yep.
I'm like, I don't want to talk. I don't want to.
And that's why we get along.
Right. That coupled with growing up, I was called a mute because I didn't talk because I had a very, very bad stutter. And I was so afraid of being judged. So I'm like, you know
Right.
what? I ain't gonna talk. But now I'm like, you know what? This is me. This is who I am, right? So I'm going to walk up to you, approach you, talk to you. My kids, every time we go out, hey, Dad, you know everybody because I'm talking to people and I could be meeting them for the first time.
Right.
But it's the fact that now I'm still an introvert, but I live in an extrovert world, and if I want to go out there and get it, I have to be at a spot where I am talking and approaching people because now I like it. Now I can do it. Oh,
Right.
nice car, nice shoes, nice shirt, whatever. Now I can do it. Now I can go up to a server and crack jokes. Now I'm comfortable with that now.
But you had to work.
I had to work.
You had to work at that.
And it still work, but
Yeah.
it still work. But even today, I can be in a grocery store, right? And it's my introvert coming back out. I can be in a grocery store. I can see somebody I know. I would turn around and walk away because I don't want to talk
Is it because you don't want to talk to that person,
No,
or you just don't want to talk at all?
at all.
Okay, I get that.
At
I'm the
all.
same way.
Period. I'm like,
Yep.
right now,
I just don't wanna be
feel like
bothered.
it. So
Yeah,
I'm like,
just
I'm
don't.
gonna go the other way and I'll go around. But I'm glad it's not just me.
No.
Okay.
And you think about, let's see, let's just say 70%. You can either give me high or low. 70% of what we do is speaking to others.
Right. Yeah.
Give or
Well,
take.
actually,
you and I.
us is probably 80.
You and
80.
I.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
About-
Oh, you and I.
you
Yeah.
and I.
Gotcha.
70 and
Yeah.
80%?
Yep.
So yeah, there's some times where I just want to just go to the store and get my stuff and roll the hell out.
Right.
That's it. It doesn't make us, right or wrong or bad or indifferent. It just makes us. I look at it like it's a protector of peace kind of thing. Like I used to be super apologetic for being introverted.
Yeah.
Like, man, my bad. I wish I could be there, but just sometimes I'm comfortable with just me and being in the house and just chilling and writing and working on stuff and just that's it. That's what I'd rather do. We spend so much time in front of cameras.
That's true. I'm just thinking about that. We got the podcast.
Think about it.
You got the mantle. We got the blueprint. We got
Conference calls.
And we got events coming up. Man,
So we got to at some point we got to protect our peace,
Yeah.
and I don't, people gonna judge you for anything and everything, good or bad. People are gonna hate you and critique you no matter what, good or bad.
Yeah.
But the great Kobe Bryant said, and I'm gonna pull a Kobe quote out: "People always hate the greats.
always hate the great
If you're not doing nothing great, and if people aren't talking about you, then you need to do more."
because booze don't stop dunks.
Booze don't stop dunks. And if anybody is, I was talking to a friend of mine's daughter who was graduating into high school, and she said she was reluctant to go to high school because in 8th grade everybody talked about her. Everybody was calling her ugly. Everybody was calling her, every name except her name, right? So I told her, I said, I said, everybody, give me a number. She said, there's about eight kids.
That's everybody.
8 kids. I said, oh, okay, 8 kids. So you have 8 fans. She said, what do you mean? I said, people are investing in watching you and scanning you up and down and judging you. That means they're paying attention to you. There's no such thing as bad publicity. So you have fans that now watch your comings and goings. So now you really just live your life and you're living your life in front of them. And she's like, I never thought about it that way. I said, it's all about how you look at it. If people take time out to critique you, whether good or bad, then you're doing something worthy of them to spend their time looking and thinking about you.
You got their attention.
You got their attention. So now my question is, what are you going to do with it when you get to high school?
Yeah.
Bro, her whole perspective changed. By the time we were done, she was ready to get her master's degree. I'm like, well, let's get through 8th grade first.
Oh, hey, wow.
Let's get through. Let's finish 8th grade first, and then you're gonna graduate and go up to high school.
Yeah.
we'll worry about that once you get there. But for now, let's just, enjoy the space where we're at now. So it's, it's all about perspective.
Yeah.
If they're not talking about you, you're not doing enough.
Yeah. As you're talking, I'm thinking about that question, right? Do men have to be rich to be respected? And I know I said yes in the beginning, but I keep going back to it. It's not real respect, because if they lost all of that, then because we've seen it. With I would say just think about MC Hammer, right?
Oh, that's
he had so much clout, so much money. He had I think at one point back then he had $500,000 a month in payroll.
Yeah.
For all his people.
Right.
And as soon as he lost all that, he lost all his people. Even Arsenio Hall was on The Apprentice, Donald Trump's show, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had a task to call the call and raise, X amount of bucks. I'm not sure how much it was, the call, and then come back tomorrow and report how much money you raised. Arsenio came back and said, you know what? Nobody answered the phone. But he said, you know what? When I have my show, everybody answered the phone. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like once that clout dies, once that money goes away, because you are the same person.
Nothing changed.
Nothing changed.
Right.
But what you had, behind you. But as soon as that stops, everything else stops. So that's not really respect.
Nope.
And honestly, that's not really being rich.
Because I think that's what we said. So the original question was, do men need to be rich or have to be rich to be respected? And to break the English law, you got to answer a question with a question. What do we define as respect?
Or rich.
Right. What is rich, and how does rich equate to success? Can I be successful without being rich? Or can I be rich without being successful? You both can be true.
It's your definition.
Yeah.
It's success is a worthy ideal. It's like what do you define as success? Because honestly, I've seen people who are out in the boonies in a log cabin by themselves, living off the land
At peace.
And they're at peace, and they're the happiest. Look at monks.
Yep.
Monks are some of the most successful, powerful, peaceful, loving people on the planet.
Yep.
Look at Gandhi, Mother Teresa, right? Their lives were not defined by what they can acquire materialistically. Now, I'm not going to front and pretend that having nice things is not fun. It is fun, right? But once it starts to define you, once it starts to dictate who you are, your character, that's when you start to question, is this true wealth? Right.
And I think that's the difference. I think somebody, when I was growing up, I was like, man, I want that NBA money. I want to be and somebody checked me. I forgot who it was. Probably one of the older cats I was hanging around with, but he was like, no, you don't want NBA money. You want the person that signs the NBA players' checks.
Right.
You want wealth. You don't want to be rich. Right. You want to be wealthy. But even then, they were still speaking monetarily.
Right.
So at some point, I'd rather be wealthy than rich. If you were to ask me, yes, I'd rather be wealthy than rich. But all of those things are a complete additive. They don't define me. They don't make me or anything. They are just an additive to me. They don't define me. You can put me in anything else. I'm still the same person. I'm gonna be the same person regardless of what's around me, what I have, what I don't have. Now, do we work hard for our lifestyles? That's a different question.
Let me ask you, before you move on, let me ask you this question. What is bearing defined as wealth and being rich? What's your true definition?
That's great. So
being wealthy and rich.
So wealthy and rich are two different things. But if I had to define what wealthy is for me now, as opposed to me growing up, is, man, just seeing my kids develop into thriving adults, seeing them, like I jokingly tell them, the ones graduated college, The other one is about to finish up graduating college. I said, once y'all do that, I can go on. You can go ahead and sign me. You can put me on my deathbed. I'm done. Because I have 2 kids that are college graduates that are thriving, and they're thriving in their careers.
Yeah.
Man, what more can a parent want than to see their kids thrive?
Right.
Boom. I love that about that. I love that. That to me is success for me. It means that shows that we did something right.
Yeah.
You know, although it took a village, and I think about how proud my parents are of their grandkids and looking down on them now, how proud they are. That is success for me. Doing what we do is success for me because I'm making my parents proud.
Right.
It's what I did. It's what I wanted to do with the rest of my life.
Right.
So that to me is everything that comes along with it now is an additive.
Yeah.
This at its core, at its root, is success for me.
Yeah.
Anything that comes from this is an additive.
Yeah.
That's how I look at wealth. That's how I look at success. For me personally,
Yeah.
has nothing to do with money, because we can go outside and put a couple $100 on the ground and burn it.
Right.
And it's gone.
Right.
It's completely gone. The stuff that we do here, the stuff that we do on our calls, our coaching, that's impactful. We see the people that we have impacted thrive and go on to be better and do things that they didn't think they could do. We had a hand in that.
Mm-hmm.
That is powerful to me. So yes, how I respect others when I walk into a room. A cashier, thank you, I appreciate you. Oh, well, thank you, thank you. I'm like, what you thanking me for? Well, thank you for smiling.
Right.
Whoa, my nurse told me that.
Right.
Like, thank you.
Right.
Like, thank you thanking me for. So those things to me are what success is. Those things to me are what you're living the life of. I want to be better today than I was yesterday.
Yeah.
That to me is success.
Yeah.
We live the life that we talk about.
I like that.
Yep.
Yeah. Like that. And you're right, because I think we mentioned on a previous podcast that money is very, very important, right? Money gives you choices. Money
Definitely gives you
freedom
options.
for you,
Yep.
right? But also, money can be replenished. It can be replaced. One thing that can't be replaced is, like, you have kids, I have kids. It's the quality of time that you spend with them, right? You can go out there and burn $1,000, burn $100, like you said. But if you missed one of Sean's games growing up, could you go back to that game?
No, you can't.
No.
That's
Could you go
gone.
back to that birthday?
No.
That graduation?
Nope.
Right, you can't.
Nope.
So I'm sure he has the memories of you being there more than a memory of you buying him his best pair of shoes.
Right.
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 So for me, I think that's true wealth is the experiences that you create for your family and the memories that they have of you as they grow older. My son blew me away maybe 3 months ago. I remember what it was, what he said, but I caught him talking to his sister, and he said something. I said to him, like, well, Dad said if you do this. I'm like, what?
He's listening.
Did my son just say that? So they're listening, and I'm sure he remembers that versus the last time I gave him $5 or $10 to go get some Takis or some hot Cheetos. Right. The fact that they're growing up, and I can. Last night at the track meet, these little things just like pop out to me sometimes, right? Last night at the track meet, she ran her race, and she immediately comes over because I'm in the stands, and she's like, so I know you're enjoying the podcast, but I want to stop real quick and tell you about Barron's book, The Bro Code of Confidence. Now, men need confidence. Men need resilience. Men need to have a sense of purpose, but we don't always have that, right? We sometimes get stuck in figuring out who we are and what we need to do. The Bro Code is the perfect book to get you unstuck, to make things simpler so we can gain confidence and be resilient. Get the Bro Code, click the link in the description, get the Bro Code. Now back to the show. Like, what's going on? She thought somebody stole her track shoes, right? But to me, it wasn't about the shoes. It was the fact that I'm important to her enough for her to come over and tell me what happened immediately, right? Like, wow, she's coming to me. She's looking at me because she sees, if there's a problem or if I'm lost, Dad can take care of me.
Dad'll fix it.
Dad'll fix it.
Yep.
And that's wealth,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yep.
a lot of kids don't do that,
Nope.
right? A lot of fathers don't have that.
Nope.
And I look at these things that in the moment may seem significance, but once you and I start talking, I'm like, wow, that's massive. That's some shit that you can put in a bank, and that shit stays there and it grows because if I'm there now, and as she grows up to go to college and then graduate and get her career and get her family, she still has that ability to come and say, hey, Dad, you know what? This is what's going on. You know what? I need you.
Right.
Like, I got you. Right. So that's true wealth. And I think as men get older and people start seeing like their true value, their true wealth, and now they're being respected for the man that they are versus the man that versus the man that acquires all these things.
Right. Yeah.
But in my finite, infinite, and I find a finite brain,
finite. Mm-hmm.
we can have it all. We can have both.
I don't see why. Yeah, you can.
We can have both.
And the important thing is exactly what you just articulated was to recognize those small things. They're not so, there's maybe small in the moment, but when you reflect back, they're so important. They're so impactful to your life, your kids' lives, that's what you stay with. That's what sticks with you. It just I'm sitting here, I was listening to you and smiling because I would always my mom would always tell me that we were like savings accounts.
I like that.
And I was like, we don't, what do you mean savings account? We weren't poor. And we weren't poor, but we wasn't balling out of control either. But I automatically thought savings account money,
Right.
And she's like, no, what I put into you guys, you can't, if I go into the bank, if I had a savings account
right.
for 10 years, and for 10 years, I put a penny in there every day. Every day I put a penny in that account for 10 years. And after that 10 years, I go out and says, I want to withdraw my $2 million.
Right.
I'm going to be like, you didn't invest $2 million into
Right.
this account. You
Right.
can take what you get out, whatever you put in it, you can take out of it.
Right.
But we're not going to give you $2 million when you've only invested a penny a day.
Right.
So she was saying, I get out of you guys what I put into you guys.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn.
Yeah.
And so I looked at that as like, okay, I need to pour into my kids. I need to be there. I need to be present. I need to be that parent because what I want from them is so far more greater than what came out of me. So if I want double out of them, then I have to pour in double into them.
Right.
So I looked at that and I focused on that as they were born. And now my focus has shifted now because I want more for them as adults.
Yeah.
So if I want more for them as adults, then I have to show them how to be more. I have to show them. I can't take for granted that they're going to figure it out. I can't take for granted that they're going to know that I have, that my cable bill is not included in my rent and my mortgage.
Right.
I have to show them how to go to the grocery store and get your meals for the week and still pay your bills and not go pay half your bills and go eat at Cane's. No problems with Cane's or nothing, but you eat at Cane's for one night and then you don't have nothing to eat in your house for the rest of the week. That's not balanced. That's not being a productive adult. So these are the things that we have to show them as they go on their own to be thriving adults. So yeah, definitely I have to put more into the bank now at this stage of their lives.
Yeah.
So
100%.
they're my savings accounts.
And I like that perspective. And and it's being rich, being wealthy. You can be rich in your experience and rich in how you show up. And I think that richness turns into wealth, right? And then that wealth carries on through generations. human beings are so good at creating generational curses,
Yeah.
right? We master that, but now we gotta be masters at creating generational wealth, and that wealth is what we put out there in the world,
Yep.
right? So
Thousand
that's what
percent agree with that.
that's what we are.
Yep. I mean, that's we just and like we got to stick to our original question.
Yeah.
We're trying to keep us focused here. Do men have to be rich? Now, do you feel men have to be rich to be respected? And we're not defining respect. We're gonna, with your definition of respect, with your specific definition of respect, do men have to be rich to be respected?
With what? Say it again.
With your definition of respect, right?
Uh-huh.
Not societal's definition of respect.
Right.
Do men have to be rich in order to be respected?
Hold on, pause. Let them cat come.
I think she's answering. The cat's answering. She said no.
Shut up. Jeez. Okay, ask me again.
All right. So, based on your definition of respect, not societal's definition, do men have to be respected? I mean, to have to be rich to be respected?
Based on my definition,
Based on your definition.
100%. 100%, because my definition is not money. I believe a man should be respected if he's taking care of his family,
Right.
if he's building his kids, if he's providing, if he's showing them how to move in this world, right? If it's my definition, I'm gonna say yes, because my definition of rich is a bit different. Even though I believe that, again, you can be rich mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and also be rich material wise. I believe that men can have both.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe that we should accept a lifestyle of lack. Well, I gotta have this one, but I can't have this one.
Right.
No, God's a God of abundance, right? Everything that you want, He can give you, but you have to know and believe that you can have both. So, and that's what I believe. I believe that, you know what, I'm not going to settle for just being this rich, emotionally, spiritually healthy guy. You know, I'm gonna have that. Plus, I'm gonna have everything that comes with it. All the materials, you know, whatever, the house, the jets, the cars, whatever. I'm gonna have both.
Right.
Right. And then I'm gonna pass both on to my kids, because, like the word of God says, a wise man leaves a heritage for his children's children. Right.
Exactly.
So, and inheritance is not just the money, it's the lifestyle.
It's the lifestyle. It's the values. It's the knowledge that you pass down and everything. So we just defined your personal definition of a respect, and you believe that rich is not just monetary or tangible things.
Right.
So basically,
Addition to.
yeah, it's an addition. It's an additive to the person, not the person, so to speak.
Right.
So yes, I get your answer now, because I was thinking, like, should your answer be no? But I was thinking under the societal's definition of rich.
Mine.
And your so yeah,
Society, no.
society,
Mine is
yes. So I agree with that. Like, I do agree that I completely agree with you. But our definition of rich and respected are on the same plane.
Right.
So yeah, I do believe that you should be rich, and why can't you have it all? Why can't you, if you working for it, if you are thriving for it, why should you pigeonhole yourself, or, well, I don't deserve, or I shouldn't have this? Because one of the most stupidest things people can do is say, oh, I don't think I deserve this because they might think this. I don't think that I should like to ride in this because people are going to think this. People are going to think whatever they want, regardless of if you are in a Porsche or a putt-putt. They're going to have their opinion of you regardless.
Right.
So they're going to speak negatively or positively of you regardless. So you might as well live your life, stick to your. That's why we say. That's why we have a core four.
Yeah.
Stick to your core four. Stick to your whatever makes you who you are, and it's positive, and you're not hurting anybody. Stick to that.
Right.
Because if you live your life trying to worry about the opinions of others and trying to worry about what people are gonna think of you, you're gonna be moving this way all the way. You're gonna just be all over the place instead of staying linear.
Right.
So yeah, like funny story. We were in New York 2 weeks ago, and all the Uber, we Lyft everywhere. Uber, Lyft, whatever. We Lyft everywhere. And I think there's a certain thing about us in California, like our Uber drivers we expect our cars to be, for lack of a better word, Hollywood, spacious.
Right.
The Uber cars we were in, bro, I tell you, they were like, one was like maybe a 2-seater. It's me and my brother.
A 2-seater?
Well, it was a 2-door.
Okay, 2-door. Wow, okay.
Right?
With a back seat?
With a back seat.
Okay.
With a back seat. So kind of similar to my car, but not
spacious.
Not as spacious.
Yeah.
And we're sitting there like, we're not used to this, bro. We're not used to this. And even the SUV that we chose, the guy had a whole bunch of stuff in the seat. So it wasn't real. See, you see that expression right there? That is the expression I had. Wow. So my brother, we had this whole conversation that whole night. Like, are we as Californians bougie in a certain extent? Like, we were really debating that. Like, should we just? It got us from point A to point B. It did the job, but it wasn't how we were accustomed to traveling.
This is how I see it.
Yeah, let me get that, because your expression was the same exact expression I had when he pulled up.
So the way I see it is this: there's a difference in being grateful and then having expectations, right?
Okay.
I'm sure that you were grateful to have the ability to get out there and then to even have a ride from point A to point B, right? You're grateful.
I'm very grateful.
However, your expectation is something that you should never back down from, because you have lived a certain life and you've grown to certain expectations. I believe people don't have what they want because they keep their expectations low, right? They don't increase what they want out of life. Mm-hmm. So we only get in life what we expect to get, right? Your expectation of that Uber was something that you were accustomed to out here in California.
Yeah.
So it's okay to be a little bit like, I'm not comfortable, but I'm sure you were grateful for it, right?
I appreciate that.
Right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So
I was definitely grateful.
Like, that's why people are stuck in the always I want and never have, because their expectations don't meet their wants, right? I want this, but my expectation is down here.
Right.
I want to be this great whatever, or have this. Well, you have to raise your expectation, right? And if you do that, you get what you want. So I think you're good.
Oh,
right?
okay.
Well, I know you're good.
Yeah. We were like, I'm just like, I don't want to come off as ungrateful.
Right.
I don't want to come off as this, like, because honestly, people that are not in California look at us kind of differently. Like, oh, you live in California,
Yeah.
so you're able to do X, Y, Z. You're doing this, you're doing this,
Yes.
you're doing that, you're doing that.
Yes.
It costs to live out here.
Yes.
And yes, we are used to a certain level of comfortability,
and that's okay. That's totally okay, because this is what I'm accustomed to.
Yep.
Right.
For right or wrong, this is what I'm accustomed to.
It's right. This is what I want. I'm like, if you start expecting more out of your life, just imagine where you would be, right? But you want to settle, so that sounds like a you problem.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep expecting. Right?
That sounds like a you problem.
I'm gonna keep expecting, because the more I expect, the more I get.
And that's my expectations are. Yes, I'm used to a certain level of anything. This is what I'm accustomed to.
Bro, and plus you 6'3", you're gonna be like,
Oh,
You know,
well,
you want to stretch out, and it's like you can't do that. You can't be uncomfortable to make someone else comfortable.
you
You know,
can't. And I,
to a certain extent, yeah, your kids as they grow, but like out here in the world, I'm just going to sit back and just be in this little bitty seat because I'm 6'3", you're 5'2", but I'm gonna go ahead and give you the leg room,
yeah,
right?
no, that doesn't
Or,
even make sense.
it doesn't, but people do it. People shrink,
Yeah,
right? It
people
happens.
shrink.
It happens.
People dim their lights, and I think when we started, we were just saying that we shouldn't dim our light. Nobody should dim their light to make someone else comfortable. Let your light shine. Let your you kings out there. Let your crown hold your crown up, bro. You know, stand up.
Yeah, yeah, man. I just believe that men should go for it all because it's all there for the taking. It's all out there. It's all laid out. We go for the being rich with your family and being rich, with your money, right? And I keep saying that because I just want everybody to know that it's something that's totally attainable.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
it may take longer because you're now doing both, but that's okay, right? I tell you this, I used to think that my value was based in my ability to provide. It still creeps up here and there,
yeah. Definitely, yeah.
it wasn't until I got to a point where I really almost couldn't provide. I lost everything, and guess who was still there? My kids. Guess who still love me? My kids. Guess still like, you know what, Dad? It's good. My kids. So when I had the money and then I didn't have the money, they were still there. So I'm like, man, it's not about the money. The money is just extra. The money just creates more opportunities for us, gives us
Right.
more freedoms. That's what that does.
Yep.
But the love they have for me has nothing to do with my ability to provide because there was a point where I couldn't buy food and they were still like, boom, Dad, let's go. We here. I love you. We good. That to me is true wealth. And that to me makes me the richest man on the planet.
Exactly. Like
That right there.
I mean, like when I first met your kids, the first thing I told you was, good job,
Right.
because I could see how connected they were.
Right.
I've seen bad kids. I've been around bad kids.
Right.
I have renamed bad kids.
You renamed them?
I have
Baby kids.
I have seen bad kids, and I did not see that with your kids. And their ages what were their ages ranging from youngest to oldest?
Oldest, like all my kids?
No, just
Just the ones we saw?
at that situation, that event.
From 19, 16, 14, 12.
So from 12 to 19,
Right.
that is some formidable years
Right.
where society and social media, all of that stuff plays a part. And they could have been, and now that I'm thinking about it, and I don't recall them ever being like, while they were there, they were never just like in their phones, just,
You know why? Because y'all have food.
Well,
Food.
regardless, I mean, they were like that. I just love to see the togetherness of them. And I just love to see that they weren't like, running around crazy. I mean, granted, 12 to 19, and I don't expect 12 to 19-year-olds to run around, but like I said, I've seen bad kids before, and those were not that. So that, to me, I saw that and I was like, bro, you are through everything. You created this through everything.
Right.
Kudos to y'all. Kudos to y'all. So,
All this shit hit the fan. I was like, and that shit hit the fan. My kids stood strong and made me stand strong and showed me that what, you gotta keep going.
You gotta keep going.
You gotta keep going.
You gotta keep
because
going. They're watching.
They're watching.
They're watching. So that is through it all, bro. Like that is, and I will continue to salute you on that because
Appreciate you.
we don't do it enough. We'll always think it as men. We're like, man, that dude's over there. That's dope. But never do you let that individual know. Right. And I think that is the difference between us then and now. Right. Now we need to start letting each other know because honestly, those words could be the one thing that makes that one person like keep pushing that day. We all challenge ourselves, we all doubt ourselves, but when somebody comes up to us to say, bro, good job. I couldn't, good. This is what I see. You're a direct product of that.
Right.
Good job, bro. Like I see it, like, so yeah, it probably won't be it's not the first and it probably won't be the last time I tell you, but
Appreciate you so much.
that's solid. That's solid.
Appreciate you.
So,
What you got for us in closing? Give us some words of wisdom.
Words of wisdom. I think I was thinking about that too. Like we should do affirmations at the end of every podcast for anybody that's watching. So one affirmation I want to speak into our audience is that you do not have to succumb to your situations. Your decisions in the past they don't define who you are now. I would suggest if you want better, you do better starting today, starting now. Don't let your past
That's free.
Don't let your past dictate your future. Don't let your past define who you are currently. That was just a learning experience. Now you've learned. What did you learn from that? Show your future what you learned from your past.
Right. Oh,
that's
like that.
And I'm gonna drop it like that. Yep.
Talk about that.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, good podcast.
I think we hit
good topic.
Yep.
So as always, guys, if you know anybody who needs to hear this, well, you know what, just send it to them because Please like, subscribe, and share. And thank you so much for watching Truth About Him, the #1 podcast on men's health and wellness. We'll see you guys next week. Have a great week. Peace out.